All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another daily update. Hope everybody is having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys, we're going to quickly run through the indices here, and then we're going to also quickly run through the Mag 7 stocks. And then I have a few trade ideas at the end of the video just for you. All right, guys, so we did end up getting quite the sell today. I'm not going to say things look the best, but I am going to remind everyone that we have Mag 7 stocks starting to report earnings on Wednesday with Google and Tesla after the bell. With how the Mag 7 stocks are set up right now, I'm going to be honest, I think we have a recipe for just trading flat, for not going anywhere until end of week. That is just That's how I think things are set up. Some of them, some of the Mag 7 stocks, major market components suggesting they can continue up. Some of them suggest they're going to stay in consolidation or continue down. I think this is a recipe for trading flat. So let's get into it, guys. We're just going to go over the levels real quick, guys. All right, on the upside, we're talking 566.06 today's high. Above there, 570. All right, realistically 568 and then 570. 568 is another cycle level that probably will be respected. On the downside, we have 563.80. It was Friday's high. I know it says it's up here. It's not. It's where it is, 563.80. On the downside, 563.80, 560.80. If you take out 560.80, we're probably coming back down here 557.20. All right, so set your alert there. If you start getting that alert get hit and you do not hold, chances are we're seeing a larger sell. Come over here to SPY. Quite the freaking rug pull to happen today. You guys want to see it? We'll look at this pretty mess over here, okay? Rug pull right into close, guys. You had quite a pump today, followed by a dump, and you closed the day out pretty flat. On the upside, 629.47, 631.54, and then 635. On the downside, 627.86, and then 626.28. You take out 626.28, we're probably having a larger sell. From there, we watch 625.16 and then 621.53. It's SPY and QQ. I'm just going to come over here to the VIX, and I'm going to point out, guys, likely have a big volatility event incoming. I'm not saying right now, but I do think that is how it's shaping up. I think over the next few weeks, we're probably going to see a VIX spike. I've been talking about this. It looks pretty funky. Every time we come down to the bottom of the range, expect VIX to be bought. All right, which means, I hate to say it, but every little bounce into new highs there on SPY and QQ, if VIX is just going to be bouncing anytime it makes new lows over here, gets down to the low of the range, while this bounces, SPY likes to pull back. That means any little minor high we got going on there, it's probably going to be sold. All right, now coming back over to the weekly time frame, I'm going to point out we didn't have the most bearish close last week. We probably are going higher still this week. I know things look pretty bad over here. You have a 4 hours bearish engulfing candlestick, but let's see if they do end up saving you into tomorrow. The weekly closes last week, they're not bearish. We're probably getting a bit more upside than what we had to start off the week here on Monday. Probably are. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed, but we are likely going to see those weekly candles expand, so I will just give you a little reminder there. I'm also going to say IWM, DIA. Yeah, I know in the short term they look bearish. I understand, but at the end of the day, you still are just consolidating above the daily moving averages. Okay, you are holding the daily 21 over here. All right, like I know it's not the prettiest here in the short term. All right, today's price action, it did not look the best, but if we just take an objective look at things, uptrend, bunch of consolidation, just started breaking up from consolidation there. That's SPY. DIA, been consolidating, haven't broken anywhere, but you're consolidating above the 21 EMA, right below previous all-time highs. Probably gets bought. If it doesn't get bought right now and we do end up pulling back into 430-ish, probably going to be bought there. IWM, again, it's in an uptrend. You're holding the daily 21 over here. We don't know what comes next, but I'm just pointing out odds are still in the ball is still in the Bulls' court. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's how it is. All right. So yes, we get the sell, but everyone likes saying, the market's going to crash, and everyone loves the panic. But let's be completely real about it. Anyone who's gotten excited about the panic sell over the past few weeks is getting absolutely shat on. Let's be completely real about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Don't be stupid. Anybody who has been trying to short every little pullback here, you got your ass handed to you. All right. I'm just reminding everyone, this very well could be the same exact thing. Same exact thing. All right. So don't get too excited on the downside until things actually start happening. As of right now, nothing's happening. Let's go over the Mag 7 stocks. Tesla, right here, trendline resistance. You have earnings Wednesday after the bell. Would not be touching it. Downside 325.58, 314.74. Upside 335.50. You got nothing until 360 up there. GOOG. Oh, I was so close. All right. GOOG and Amazon. I was a few days too early there. All right. Few days. These little guys, they want to shake your boy out. They want to shake all of us out. They want to shove it. They want to shove it right when we exit. All right. I'm sad about this one. The thing did end up pushing up without me. I knew it made no freaking sense to start selling. All right. But I'll tell you. Oh, they took us for a ride. And now, guys, we're probably going to continue higher tomorrow. Upside levels, we're talking 192.61. And above there, 194.55. Above there, you ask? I gotcha. Up at 198.16. All right. On the upside, you have 192.61, 194.55, and 198.16. That is GOOG. Likely continues pushing tomorrow. Earnings Wednesday after the close. Could very well continue pushing into earnings. Amazon finally got that push up to 230 today. Just about hit it. We're at 229.69 high of day. Above 228.84, we're talking 230, 222. Another one that's likely to continue pushing tomorrow. Makes a whole lot more sense now. Microsoft. Get a pullback, see a pullback, buy a pullback. On the upside, guys, it looks like it's queuing up for the break above 514.64. Likely going to push 520 shortly after that breakout comes. All right. But, you know, again, something that suggests it's probably going to keep going. Meta doesn't look all that terrible. All right. You're getting back above a key level. We talked about 708.87. We started breaking back above today. And I think things are shaping up here on the 4-hour chart for a little bit more of a push. Above today's high at 717. We're talking 728. That's Meta. NVIDIA looking a bit heavy there. I wouldn't be too bullish. I wouldn't be too bearish here. Okay. Why do I say not too bearish? Because it thinks an aggressive uptrend. You could try shorting if you want, but I don't think you're going to have a good time. Maybe you have a good time, but you haven't at all for a very long time. You just haven't. Okay. The ball is in the buyer's court. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's how it is on the broad market across the board right now. That's how it is. So if you hear people sharing bear porn and getting all excited about, you know, the market crashing, just remind them that if they took that position, that stance over the past few weeks, they have gotten wrecked. All right. So just a reminder, you're going to see that stuff. And I want you to take a step back and realize that person's stupid. That person, he could be cheerleading for the Bears here, but let's be completely real about it. They've been wrecked every single time. Now, maybe this person's been bullish. They're just starting to flip bearish. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. I still think they're getting in a little bit too early there. They're getting into the bear camp a little bit too early, considering, again, price has done absolutely nothing. We're still just consolidating here. And again, ball is in the bull's court until proven otherwise. Wait until you break on a 626.28 over here on SPY. So again, you see that person celebrating the bears. Just realize either they've been wrong for quite some time or they're a little bit early. Regardless, doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you too, and we agree. Maybe you completely disagree. That's perfectly fine. Let me know down in the comments. All right. But that's NVIDIA over here, guys. On the downside, 167.89. That's really all you got. All right. That is all you got. Underneath 170.83, we're talking 167.89. Expect that dip to be bought. Apple had a big move off the open today, and it faded. All right. Yes, we're talking 212 all the way up to almost 216. It's a 4-point push you had today, and you faded the whole move. Not necessarily a sign of strength, but I will remind everyone the thing's getting ready to break up. All right? I know. Henry, you're freaking crazy. Did you see that thing today? Yes, I saw that thing today, and it's probably still going to be moving up. All right? Weekly cloud. I told you, if you get through 216.23, it's probably going to flip bullish. And at that point, we have a few weeks of upside here on Mr. Apple. Regardless, guys, the thing's going to be breaking up. All right. Until proven otherwise, that's the bias we hold. On the upside, you got to break above 216.23. Get above there, probably going straight to 219.38. That's Apple, guys. So far, Google likely pushing, Amazon likely pushing, Microsoft likely pushing, Meta likely pushing. We just got NVIDIA and Tesla here that we could get some downside action on. All right. And then you got Apple. I'm not going to say if it likely pushed or not, but I don't think it's going to be moving everywhere. We're going to say bullish on Apple, bullish on Meta, bullish on Microsoft, bullish on Amazon, bullish on Google. Guys, that is 5 out of 7 Mag 7 stocks that are suggesting upside is likely. All right, which is why in the very beginning of the video, I told you guys, I think you got a recipe here for going nowhere. All right, I think we got a recipe for SPY over here. He's just going to be tricking everyone. And again, you're going to see everybody calling for the, finally, a major pullback is coming, finally. But again, either they've been wrong the whole entire freaking time while we've been right, or they're getting a little involved too early here. And that's fine. That's fine. But I don't think you should make the mistake of you getting too involved too early on the downside. All right. But no financial advice will be given here on this channel. I just try and do my best to give you guys everything we got. And we come up with a nice big market thesis, a broad market thesis every single video. We go over that thesis. We see how things are looking, how the Mag 7, how the major components are looking. And as of right now, guys, this suggests we're going absolutely nowhere. All right, right now you got VIX over the coming weeks, likely getting ready for a big move. I don't think that's coming this week, though. But I think it's a coming. It's a coming. And really, got to break above this area right over here. This high that they put in, all right, last week, it's at 1948. If we see that alert get hit, you see 1948 on the VIX, guys. At that point, yes, I think we're starting that spike. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You wouldn't be getting all the way up here breaking over last week's high if you weren't starting that move. Okay? But it's not happening yet. It is not happening yet, which means we're probably not going to be having this crazy sell-off happen yet. I think this thing can honestly shape up a little bit more here. Maybe it dances around for this week. Maybe it starts pushing next week, which means this thing probably is going to do the same thing, dancing around, doesn't start getting shoved down till next week. Weekly candle pushed out of consolidation. Can very easily get another expansion candlestick here, and then start a pullback next week. Easily happen. All right, guys, let's go over some trade ideas just for you. Donkey Kong over here. DraftKings, DKNG. All right. Basing out here in this pennant. Above 44.85, we're talking 45.87. Above there, we're talking 48 and then 50 bucks. 49.57. Big move is likely about to go down over here on Draft of Kings. Okay, DKNG. Put on the radar. APP. All right, you pulled back today. All right, you had a low of day here of 359.40, and then you pushed. You had a mega push up to a high of 375.50. I think 380.70 is incoming, and then above there, I think we're going straight to 400 bucks. Let's be real about this, guys. You started getting a decision last week here from the buyers. All right. You have a battle going on. Sellers could have taken their chance, but what happened? They let the buyers take control. All right. Which tells us we're probably going to continue seeing the buyers in control. Probably going to continue seeing some green here. All right. Expect buyers to prevail over here on APP. On the upside, 380.70, 396.62, and then 428.99. Reddit. All right. It's almost decision time, guys. We'll see what happens. Above 150.39, last week's high. I think this is probably going to start pushing back up to 164.55. Regardless, I think you see a little bit of a pop-up here. 155 to 160. Maybe it wants to hit it with a fake out and doesn't get all the way up to 164.55 right away. Maybe. All right. Regardless, I think you're going to get a little pop over here. At least a 5-point pop up to 155 if you get above 150.39. That's Reddit. ANF. ANF is one I put on your radar. I think it was on this week right over here. Now I'm telling you, the weekly cloud has just flipped back to bullish. Good things are about to be happening over here for ANF. I think this thing is probably just going to keep trekking higher if I had to take a guess. All right. On the upside, you have 96.48, and then it goes straight to 99.12. Above there, 104.99, and then 121.41. That's where it broke down from. And a level before that, you're right there. 108.53. Okay, that's ANF. Now this one, oh, it was a disappointment today. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. But I'll tell you, if buyers are going to save it, they're going to do it tomorrow. Okay, they go and do it tomorrow. They go buy you straight up from here. Okay, you're going to hold the 4-hour 21 EMA, and you're going to push back through 1977. We get that push tomorrow, ladies and gents. The thing is in the clear. All right, it's mission go time. All right, above 1977, we're talking 2056, and I do think you push straight to 22, and then you get 25. 25 being the target. Again, disappointing day over here. You hit it with the bearish engulfing candlestick, massive fade after that pretty big old opening push you have there from 1950 all the way up to 2056. Okay? You had me in the first half. I thought they were going to run it today. What they decide to do, they pulled it back right to the 4-hour 21 EMA, just like over here. We're going to defend it. We're not going to violate it, or we're going to violate it, and this thing's not going just yet. Now, I'm going to just show the weekly time frame, ideally. All right, and what I think is probable is they save this weekly candle and they push it back to the highs and we get a big old rip going here. I'm not sure if that's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm telling you, if they're going to save it here in the short term, they're going to run it back up tomorrow. We take out 1977. All right, maybe they give an inside day to here and then we push up the following session, which will be Wednesday. I'm really not sure, but that's what I do know. If they're going to save it, they'll do it right from here. If they do not save it tomorrow, all right, then I think we're just going to have to give it some more time. That's you know, that sucks, but it is what it is. The thing's ready to rip. All right. It's right here, but it might just take a little bit more time consolidating if we aren't going to send it back up tomorrow. Okay, you know, let's just look back what happens here, okay? The fact that they slammed it right here, your breakout level, tells us we could be doing this crap. All right, and I'm just going to point out what that created. I actually talked about this in the weekly update. It's either going to go this week, we're in that week right now, or next week, and we put in something like this week. All right, regardless, I think they do give you at least a little dead cat bounce if they're going to sell it tomorrow. And that can be your opportunity to get out probably around 1940, 1950. But if you start seeing it get above 1977 again, guys, they're probably about to send it up. And this is probably a little shakeout before an actual move. But, you know, really, 4-hour chart is what does not look all that bad. And if they're going to save it, it's going to be right here. Okay, that's QBTS. All right. Now, last one I'm going to mention here is just one that I think is probably going to be bought up. It's now had, I think it was 11 green weeks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green weekly candles, guys. Are we going to get a 12th? Maybe. I'm going to say probably, just because the last 11 have been green. But I'm also just going to say this is a pretty ugly look. If we can get back above 106.64, look for the move up to 110.31. You take out 110.31, you're very likely just coming up. You're breaking 113.44. You're pushing 115, maybe 118. That is hood. If it continues pulling back, watch 188. If it does not hold 188 right here, where it just broke out from, timber might be on the table. And that is hood. All right, guys. Aside from that, that's really what I got for you this video. Everything took a giant dump today. Okay, like I'm talking giant dump across the board. A bunch of failed breakout moves. Not ideal. All right, but again, the broad market is just, it's got a recipe to trade flat. It's at a spot right now where we could easily go up. We could easily go down. I still think buys should be up until proven otherwise. All right, bulls are clearly still in control, considering every little dip here has been bought for weeks. All right, but yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. Underneath 626.28 here on SPY, set your alert from that level. If you have that get hit, if we test 626.28 and we don't hold it, all right, timber, we could be targeting the low of that range. It would be a false breakout here. Maybe we're coming all the way back down here, 621.53, maybe 617.87. But again, until proven otherwise, ball is in the bull's court. That's just how it is. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. All I ask is that you leave a like on the video. It's the only thing that really gets us out to more people. I will stay here consistently putting out my videos, putting out my stuff. All right. I hope you guys are having a good time in the market. I know today was a bit hectic, but in reality, the market does what the market wants to do. And today was just a day that the market wants to do what the market wants to do. All right. Just like we've had a bunch of back and forth recently. That's all it was. You know, it's not a massive trap or trick or anything like that. This is just the market doing on a day-to-day basis what it wants to do. Just like over here, we ended up printing this massive lower wick. We ended up having this massive move down here. And then boom, you get bought back up to new highs the next session. We don't know what's going to happen in this market right now. I'm telling you, we're, at a point here where bulls and bears are both fighting for it. I still do think we have another week of upside here. It's likely going to be the case. All right. All major indices, they're above the daily 21 EMAs. Bulls are in control. But we are definitely in a market right now that is uncertain, where we've had crap tons of 815 IWM puts for some reason just continue getting loaded. All right. SPY puts the same, but mainly IWM there. All right. So just protect yourself. Don't put yourself in a terrible spot right now. The market is going into big tech earnings week. Don't do anything stupid. Okay. With that being said, guys, I will catch you all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of their day, and peace.